big story, guys. Our most decorated female Olympian, Penny Oleksiak, has been suspended from competition for 2 whole years. This is over a testing rule. So to be clear, she has not tested positive for any banned substances. But athletes, I don't know if we all knew this, they have to let officials know where they are going to be for anti-doping, what they call spot tests. Okay, spot tests. And the International Testing Agency says that Oleksiak failed to provide her location 3 times. 3 times in 12 months, you're out. So this means Penny will not be back in the pool training with the team until about a year before the next Summer Olympics. Let's react. She's our golden girl.
I know.
What is this?
I'll tell you something. I don't know where you guys were when you heard the news, but we were actually live doing the show, and Kwame, my trusted news anchor, came up to me and was like, Penny Oleksiak, doping. And I was like, oh no, here we go. Another one of our athletes disgraced, trying to cheat the system. And then when I got home and I actually got a chance to read the news, I was like, wait a second. First of all, this organization needs to take the word doping out, because as soon as you hear that word, you immediately think that she did something wrong. And then I started to think, listen, I know there are rules, and I'm not here to tell them how long the rule should be or how long the ban should be, but 2 years sounds like a very long time. And I immediately thought about how financially she's gonna get through the next 2 years, because as we know, Olympic athletes don't make a lot of money. According to a story in the National Post, they make between $5,000 and $23,000 a year. Now, I know she may have some sponsors, but are sponsors willing to stick with her for 2 years until she gets back in the pool? I just think it's a little harsh, and I'd like to change the wording. The word doping needs to come out, and perhaps, you know, an administrative breach would have been a little bit better instead of us all thinking that she was guilty of doing something bad.
That's a great question.
Right?
There are more questions than answers in this story, and I wish that Penny was here and we could ask her, because here's the thing. Penny has been a competitive swimmer since she was 9 years old. And a lot of her teammates who are speaking out are saying, we know what the drill is. This is the drill very young and very often for all of these athletes. So they know the drill. She's 25 years old, so she knows how she has not become the best Olympian in Canadian history by messing up like this. So I do have questions, like missing 1 doping test, okay, you were stuck in traffic maybe. Missing 2 doping tests, okay, maybe someone's not scheduling you very well. But she missed 3, and she's never had a slip up that we know of in her whole career. So I have more questions, like, is she okay? Or where is the blame to fall on this?
Well, at the same time, like, these rules are in place at this level of sport because there are people that try to cheat. You know, there's a long history of people trying. I mean, look at Russia's cheating scandals over the years. They're there. So these rules are there because they need to keep the integrity of the sport. And I know I've made unintentional mistakes that have had big consequences, and I'm sure we all have.
Any? No, I'm
oh
just
gosh,
kidding.
not today. Not today. Not today. We'll keep it about Penny today. But that's exactly what I think. This is unintentional mistakes that have happened, but there are consequences. But I do feel like she is taking this with grace and poise.
Well, you don't think that 2 years is really harsh?
I do think that it is a bit harsh for what I would call an administrative. But I mean, these rules have been put in place because of something that's happened previously.
I actually didn't know. I found these rules. I had no idea that every elite swimmer must provide windows of daily availability so that they can be randomly tested. I don't know. You mentioned that she started swimming at 9. She won her first Olympic medal at 16. She's now 25, 26.
25,
I just think about myself when I was in my 20s, like what I liked when I was 16 or 9, or what my parents told me I was getting into, changed radically by the time I was in my 20s. What was I interested in my 20s? Like going out and like sleeping in with my boyfriend and like, you know, like having just like days that were unscheduled.
Do you think she's checking out?
Do you think there's a boyfriend to blame? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that maybe there's a world in which she's kind of tapped out, and maybe there's a world in which it's hard for elite athletes to say when they're kind of feeling like, I'm moving on. I'm not saying that that's the case in this case.
Look what happens with someone like Simone Biles, who says, I'm going to take a mental health break, and how everyone just went after her.
They gave her the gears for that one.
People get very attached to their athletes, and I do think it's very hard when you've built your whole life, you spent many of your parents' lives building this career, if you suddenly feel like it's not for you any longer. So there may be another to the story, I don't know, but
I mean, she has made a statement. This was a little while back. I think this was back in the summer, and she says, I always have been and will continue to be a clean athlete. She has said that. So the question now is, which is great.
Which is great.
Right? Which is great. Will Canada, forgive her for this?
I'll forgive her, right? I'll be the first one to say it.
Yeah, me too.
It's not, we're behind you, and I hope that her sponsors are behind her as well. Please don't leave her.